Hi, I'm Gavin Robinson from Kangaroo Valley Woodcrafts, and I'm going to do a little series of YouTube videos on how to put on our restoration kit and hair kit onto a refurbished rocking horse. Right, let's take a look at what you receive in the kit. So in the kit, we have a set of instructions which are reasonably easy to read through and decipher. We get 16mm leather strapping, 12mm leather strapping. This is bridle, this is for all your chest straps, stirrups and stirrup leathers, tacks, eyes, reins, breastplate and your daisies. And then we have your saddle cloth and saddle. So I will break these up into separate videos so we can do more in depth in how we put them on. Righto, let's start by putting on the saddle. We'll take a look at how it actually sits on the horse. So we don't need any of this to start off with. It is just these here for the saddle. As you can see here, there's a little diagram of how it's actually laid out on the top of your horse, which you get that. But let's just do a little how we put it together. So we have the saddle blanket goes on first, like this. The sharper points go to the back of the horse. Then we will be attaching the little saddle flaps. Then our stirrup leathers will go on here and here, and they're simply held on by a screw through the holes. Then our foam, and then our saddle goes on top, so it all links in. So the little flaps should meet up in here like so, and as you can see, the saddle meets up back with the saddle cloth. So that's how it will all attach to it. Righto, let's take a look at one of putting the saddle, how it looks on the horse. I'll just do one side, maybe it's easier to hold without it being tacked on. We'll start off with the saddle blanket on like so, and our saddle flap will be positioned there. We can adjust that once the saddle goes on, so we know exactly where it sits. Stirrup leathers will be screwed on there. Foam, and then the saddle on top, making sure that the little stitching lines up with the flap, and then at the back we'll have it so then it finishes up like so. Righto, let's mark and attach the saddle blanket first. So I start lining it up. I use the saddle as a guide as to where it's going to sit. We want to keep the line running along the horse nice and level, starting at the back. And I will just grab a little pen and just mark where I'm going to put that one on. And that one is going on. And then we'll take some 25mm flathead nails and we'll just tack it on. And then we'll see how it's sitting from there. Don't drive them all the way home just in case I have to move it. So that's where my little mark is. Making sure that's all running nice and flat. I'll just take that one on here. So if that's all lying flat, we'll check this again, see, make sure it's sitting where we want it to. That all looks pretty good, so I can Continue them on. And then I just use another 2 for the corners. The rest of the saddle cloth will be held down with the little tacks that are provided. And these nails will also be covered by the tacks. Keeping it nice and straight. And then we can go ahead and put the other side on using this side one as a gauge. Righto. Next is the little flaps for the saddle. So again, using the top saddle part to line up where it needs to be. So we've got this little top wants to line up about with where the stitching is, so it sits in about there. So if we come up here, making sure this is nice and centered. Move up under there. I generally attach the front, and then I'll do the back part once I know where it needs to sit. So this has got to sit just here, and I've got the nail. I go up to 30mm nails for the actual saddle. The cloth, because it doesn't have any pressure on it, you can use the smaller ones. So we drive this one home. And then we'll adjust the back so then it sits nice. So you see if you go too far it'll drop out. You want it just in underneath the saddle like so. Put that one in. Making sure you've got it so it sits down flat. This one in. That's all that holds that one on. We'll do the other side while we're going. Back. Should be able to see that it's nice and even at the back. Keep eyeballing it, making sure it's all level. Put that one here. Now we're up to stirrups. So these stirrups, they're adjustable stirrup. They just slide up and down to adjust your stirrup. I usually set it on the longest one and then take it down till it's at the bottom of the hoof rail, and then I'll adjust. So see, that one's a little bit too long, so I'll go with the second hole. So I'll cut that one off. It's a little bit long for this horse. These stirrup leathers are even, so if you line them up and make them the same on both sides, so line the 2 holes up, cut them off, then they will hang the same on either side. You need a little flathead screw to put these in. Take it to the centre of the horse. They go a little bit further forward so they hang nicely on your saddle like this, and I'll just screw them home. Some horses you may need to pre-drill. These ones are nice soft timber, so I'll screw home quite easy. And then the other side, lining it up, keeping everything centered. And they'll hang the same. And we'll screw that one home. Beautiful. Then we're up to foam. on this horse, because I had pulled all the old stuff off this horse, underneath their saddles, the older horses quite often have an old newspaper clipping. So this one's from 1956, newspaper clipping. So I'm going to put that one back under the saddle to keep it as part of the horse. It was there before, and so we want it to stay with the horse. So I'll just put him down under the saddle, like so. Now foam goes on top of that. And it sits like this. Next is the top of the saddle. And then lining it all up. I want it in the centre, back of this. And in the centre of the back. Again, these nails will be covered with the tacks at the end. And just centre him up here. Bring him down as we go. Always nail along the stitches. And this way. Continue pulling and nailing as we go. And then I'll put generally about 3, I put 4, 1, 2, 3 along like that. Trying to even them out as you go. Pull the saddle down a little as you nail it on. Stays nice and do these ones so as I go, so I go across and do the other side. Couple more to go. Keeping them centre in between the lot of nails. That way it'll look nicer when you put the little cover tacks over them. Make sure it's level with your other one. Right, and that's the saddle on. Now all we need to do is cover it all up with the little tacks. Cover all the nail holes. And that's pretty simple. So just put them in beside the nail head. And continue on, covering all the nails as we go along there. You don't need to do any around the flap, but I do the ones along here as well. You can put quite a few on. Put one from here. Then you can just decide where you go along, whether you go 2. I generally do 2. One holds it in nice and even spacing. You could measure them if you really want to make sure they're exact, but saddlecloth's got nice stripes and stuff, so you can pick up where it will be on the other side. Make sure you keep it nice and straight. One over the saddle. Go, and I'll continue on to put the next lot, the other side on. Righto, so that's the saddle and saddle blanket on our rocking horse. Stay tuned, we will be doing some more of these how-to videos on the rocking horse with putting mane and tail on, bridle and reins and so on. If you have any questions, please just comment down below.